reality is, the more risk you take, the luckier you get. So people need to learn to take one big risk a day. Every day take a risk and build up that risk muscle, because risk is where success comes.
Risk must be taken for the greatest. Hazard in life is to risk nothing.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time.
I think that most people, the reason that they lack success in their life is that they lack the courage to make the decisions that need to be made to put them in the position that they want to be in.
You can get so scared, and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking, in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
Watch your mouth, without a doubt, jumping on the ground. Watch out, watch out.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I hope you can hear me. Let me go test the audio. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I was talking. So we're going to talk about, sorry about that, guys. Jeez, gosh, jeez, by gosh. Anyways, we're going to talk XRP. Welcome to the channel, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button, follow me, all that good stuff. Always remember, not a financial advisor, for damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. You got to do your own research. Don't ever allow a social media influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to crypto. You could get wrecked. So we're going to talk about XRP. By the way, welcome to R2R live stream number 151. Happy Friday, everybody out there. Happy Friday. I'm sure you saw Jerome. What should we hit him with Jerome again? Now let's hit him with the Carlton because we celebrate when there's greenery in the scenery. Where's my Carlton? So we celebrate the price of Bitcoin, $102,599, right? And I was just saying, as we were muted, sorry about that, is like I've been in crypto in such a long time now. There's a lot of things that have changed, right? And one thing we always need to focus on now that we didn't have before was that Ethereum dominance was added, right? There's always been Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has dropped. It was 70 just recently, right? It's 62.9%. ETH dominance has gone up like 1% in the past couple of days. We're at 8.6%. So what I was saying is like, when we see a time when there is Solana dominance or an XRP dominance, and I don't know if they're going to limit it just to the top two, but obviously if that were to happen, we'd have to literally see XRP flip Ethereum. And you never know. I always got to say you never know because, I mean, I'm looking at, we're going to talk about XRP, the big news, right? All the big news that's going on, all the positive sentiment, all the things they've been waiting for since they've had the Ripple SEC case against them that has been suppressing them. Shout out to the XRP army out there. But it's just like, to me, when I first got into XRP, I didn't think big enough. I only thought like, one day it's going to possibly be like 25 cents. The reason why I thought it would be 25 cents would be like, I'll never have to work again. It's likely to happen in 10, 20 years. It's because I was new to crypto. I'd originally bought Bitcoin, and I started buying Ethereum, $7. And when I got into XRP, it was a half a penny. And I was buying it. And I saw the vision. This is back when I was doing the car videos, back on my old YouTube channel. And I would always just say, like, I have like this thing with crypto where I saw Satoshi's vision and how we're supposed to get away from the banking system. And I always looked at XRP as like the banks finding a way to implement themselves, right? And all that institutional money and the man, I always felt like I was just trying to get away from the society and the world banking system of today. And that XRP was like that wild card in crypto that I didn't particularly like, but I knew like, one day big money would come and it's going to be, you can't beat them, join them type of thing. And I used to always say, you can't beat them, join them. And I just felt that I was not going to be able to look down the road and see us really eliminating the banks using Bitcoin. Like I used to always think Bitcoin was going to be, I bought my coffee with it. And I didn't know better. I was buying Bitcoin, $250, and I saw that vision wasn't a reality because it technically is too slow and gas fees would be too high. I didn't understand it there, right? And I didn't see anything other than crypto going in a direction away from, the banking system. XRP comes along, and I'm like, okay, it's here. I see what its use case is for. There's no running away from it. You can't beat them, join them. So I bought it. Now we're like 420x from my entry, years down the road, okay? And I used to think it couldn't hit 25 cents. I've round-tripped XRP every cycle, by the way, since I've bought it. It's supposed to be the long-term investment, in my honest opinion. Like, you don't sell your Bitcoin, you don't sell your XRP, and now, I've always been in that position. You don't sell your H-bar, your Hedera hash, your H-bar, right? Your Hedera. And I'm always going to think of this as a blue chip. But now that I didn't have that vision of ever thinking it would hit 400 plus X from my entry and we would be where we're at today, now I'm like, okay, I can't be such a small peanut brain this time around too. Because I used to look at market caps and be like, oh, it would have to be like this market cap to ever be $1, right? So technically, to hit $100, it would have to be a 50x its market cap, which is $136 billion. And our brains at this point, including my brain, find it like really, really hard to believe. You know, that would technically mean it would be what, a $6.8 trillion market cap. Okay. That was the reality I was facing back then too. But I didn't realize that all these market caps were going to be this massive one day. Like I thought they could, but I didn't really think, based off of the feedback I would get talking with people about these things and all of the hate I would get trying to convert friends and family to buy Bitcoin. And then when I introduced Ethereum, I literally had my best friends and all of my family like, get Ethereum, it's $7, it's smart contracts, and this is what you can do. Their brain was barely accepting Bitcoin and could understand blockchain. So I've had all these run-ins with this technology early on where I'm like, man, it took a long time for the crowd to join. Now, with XRP, we have something that's unique, okay? Because we look at the price of $2.33. We look at the market cap. You know, we see that the market cap is $136 billion. I put in the title, you know, $100 coming soon. Now I'm no longer going to be like I was before, just thinking too small. 25 cents was too small of a dream, right? I just knew that I bought enough that at 25 cents, it would change my life from where I was at that point forever. And now that I look at crypto overall with a $3.24 trillion market cap, that's still super small. Like infant stage small. And I'm not thinking big enough. I just didn't, I guess I didn't know enough at the time. But if you look at the stock market, you look at everything collectively, like the global market, there's like, what is there, roughly $124 trillion global in the global stock market, something like that. So for XRP to just have 10% of that would make it double of our 50x projection, right? It'd be like 12 trillion. 6.8 trillion gets you over $100. And now the reason why I'm becoming more and more of a believer is because I've seen what it's done, and now I see what's going on, right? They have got the SEC case, you know, that's been settled. Like the weight is now off the shoulders of XRP, and the Phoenix can now fly, can now soar amongst the skies. The thing about cryptocurrency, though, right, is there's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there that have like short life shelves, and a lot of that exists in DeFi and small caps. Okay, there's a lot of penny stocks that I've gone into because they're leverages on your Bitcoin, or they're leverages on your Ethereum or your Solana or whatever other network native token you're using and buying in that DeFi environment. These small cap gems, which mean most people know meme tokens, you're leveraging that native gas token to those assets to make multiples over, you know, let's say your Ethereum or your Sonic or your Solana, right? XRP has the use case of just getting straight institutional big wealth like sector of money. And it's not like the little guys going in and playing DeFi and we're all impressed by these, you know, $8.5 billion TVLs on Solana and the the DeFi volume between ETH and Solana. This is the banks. This is like those people that we hate the most, the globalists, right? The people that have all the control are going to be exactly what I said at the very beginning when I bought XRP. And I thought XRP went totally against everything I believed in about getting away from the system and becoming decentralized. And I bought it because I said, you can't beat them, join them. And I thought I was joining them early on, and it happened, right? I got on this bandwagon early on, and I'm seeing what is going to be accepted across the board when it comes to, the Wall Street money, when it comes to, the globalists, the people who control the world and countries and have the politicians in their pockets. I realized that my decentralized view, my world has been infiltrated by and been invaded by all of this money that is going to continue to be dominating worldwide. And they like XRP. The banks have a use case for XRP and how they transition money and how much cheaper it is to do international transactions. So my dream of that reality being why I got into it originally, for the simple fact that you can't beat them, join them, and these guys are always going to run the world. It actually happened, but the dream just slowed down because of the big lawsuit with the SEC. Now we have that settled and out of the way. Everything is popping up with news articles with XRP. Like everything that you can possibly want to happen is being partnerships, investors, and they're integrating, right? They're integrating the technology. Okay, this is XRP. Main utility and use case is a payment system, right? So this right here makes it easier and more efficient for big money to move, all right? From A to B, from A to Z, from C to D. It's actually happening now. And it got stalled out because of the SEC, and that's all settled and gone now. And this is now exactly where I wanted it to be, where I'm like, hey, I'm willing to round trip this going up and down every cycle like I have since the beginning when I first bought it, and continue to fulfill that dream that one day, 20, 30 years from now, when I'm in my late 60s, 70s, I'll have this XRP to sell. And I can look back and go, I started buying it at half a penny, not because I wanted this. I just knew you can't beat them, join them. And I needed to be invested in both sides of the fence. I needed to have my decentralized vision fulfilled with Bitcoin. I have more of a decentralized presence in DeFi through smart contracts with Ethereum, Solana, and all of the layer 2s. And then I have a piece of the pie early on where everything that I wanted to escape the system, the big money, the banks are investing in. And I was able to get in early for long-term growth because XRP can hit $10 a cycle. I'm not selling. And we will go into a bear market and it will correct, and I'm going to hold it because it's long-term. I believe it's a long-term blue chip. I'm not interested in flipping it and buying more or even messing around with the wallets of any of them. They're dusty at this point for so long. So I think over time, these are going to be massive, where a lot of everything that exists that I do play around in DeFi may be dead, especially meme tokens, right? And the thing about the cycle that we're in now, whether we're going on a super cycle, bull market, whatever we're at, whether we go into a bull or a bear, wherever we're at, I do believe that in the end, because of all this big mega money pushing into assets like XRP and true utility and technology, that the meme tokens will eventually die off. Okay? Those market caps will be absorbed and will sprinkle and transition until utility. We have skipped utility for the past several years, I feel like. Weren't appreciated because everybody has been wanting to get rich quick. And because a lot of these lawsuits have been suppressing XRP and the uncertainty and doubt about even being able to make money in crypto and anything other than a meme token, the shift will happen. All right. All that BS will be absorbed. I do think like 75% of what's out there today will die, and the true unique technology and utility, which cryptocurrency is supposed to be. I believe cryptocurrency is supposed to be a technology utility driven industry, will be that and only that one day. And that's where more of the market cap comes in. We're 50x from here, including all the money that has yet to come into this crypto industry as a whole. It's going to skyrocket these prices, and it's going to be unimaginable. So Logistics integrates XRP for healthcare payments via 50 million credit facility. Okay. So this is going to be linked in with another article we're going to look at. We're talking like big pharmaceutical companies, the healthcare industry, right? Integrating the utility, the technology behind XRP, all right? So they announced a $50 million equity line of credit known as ELOC to integrate XRP into its financial operations, aiming to enhance transaction speed and transparency across its healthcare network, right? So moving money from A to Z, creating it on the blockchain so the transparency is there. They now know where the money is all going within the healthcare system once it's integrated. Where every nickel and dime is going is now on a blockchain ledger, right? And it's for transparency. That's the future, right? Could you imagine if for whatever blockchain it is, I don't know, I can't even speculate. But could you imagine a U.S. election happening via the blockchain? There would be no discrepancy because blockchain is perfect in the data that it would show on chain. It would be undeniable on who your president was, like without a shadow of a doubt, right? You can figure out a way for each individual person that is a U.S. citizen or a citizen of that country. There's probably a way you can figure out how each one gets their own, hash ID, whatever it may be, when they turn the appropriate age, or whether it's 18, whatever it may be, and they're a legal citizen to make and cast a vote and not have to worry about the discrepancy of these, machines that are apparently being rigged, all the things that happen in the elections, that can be solved through blockchain and the transparency of the chain. So just imagine the payment system is just the tip of the iceberg, right? You could probably use XRP for a lot more than just a payment system, considering it's a blockchain for transparency to see what's actually happening. I'm sure there's a lot more, but the payment system is the biggest portion and the biggest reason you're going to see that this is just the beginning of announcement after announcement after announcement of the implementation of XRP. The floodgates are freaking open now, all right? The floodgates are open. And I do feel that XRP has a strange advantage compared to even like Ethereum and Solana and all that, where users go. This is unique, okay? It's rather unique. You got to admit, what other chain is going to take on any of this mass partnerships for the sole purpose of transparency, right? They're not going on Solana or Ethereum. It's not built like that to even handle what they're even trying to do or the reason that they're going to use it, to be honest with you, right? And you know what? The blockchain is really fast with XRP. I don't know if a lot of you, it's been a while since I used it, but when I was using it, Jesus, right? So according to this announcement, the initiative will be to utilize XRP as both a treasury reserve asset and a medium for real-time payments. So it's not just the payment system. You hear that there, the treasury reserve asset. All right, so an asset class that is being referred to as a reserve in a treasury. That's big, because monkey see, monkey do. Everybody else is going to go, oh, yeah, I need that in my treasury reserve as well. Let me get that XRP. Let me get that XRP. Let me stack that up. That just leads to more and more of the XRP asset being purchased and just log into the system to sit in the treasury, right? Treasuries usually don't get really moved around a lot. They get utilized. But, I mean, just the beginning part of buying it to stockpile a treasury is going to lead to a lot more buy pressure and a lot more of an increased market cap. So that's with logistics, right? That's right there. You know, there's going to be just so much more to come. I mean, I think from here, it's going to be like week after week after week after week of just XRP is going to be integrated here. You know, all the banks, XRP, every bank, XRP, every bank, every credit union, every major institution, all of Wall Street, everything that you can possibly think of is going to be utilizing the technology for transparency. And then, of course, you're going to see the treasury asset part of it as well. I'm like, okay. It looks like the SEC kind of suppressed you for a long time there, right? So Florida pharma firm will use XRP for real-time payments and $50 million financing deal. Real-time payments. This is gonna go to levels we never even imagined. And I never imagined. Only thing I ever did was buy it because I was just the greedy bastards you can't beat them, join them. Because I understand the technology early on that it wasn't for me and you to use it. It wasn't so that me and you can go to Starbucks and start buying our coffee or transact. It was so that these banks, these pharmaceutical companies could utilize it on a blockchain, fast and efficient and affordable, and for the transparency. And now that it's got the incredible use case, now they can store it all in a treasury and buy it up, stockpile it. Every country is going to want to do this. Every country is already starting to do it. You know, now that the SEC is out of the way, XRP could have really different responses to, like, when the next bear market does in fact come, right? Or if it's here now, or if it's coming a year from now, 8 years from now, whatever it may be, right? I just think there's just so much that's going on that it's going to have continuous pressure. People are going to continue to buy it. There's a use case for it entirely throughout every cycle, bull or bear. It's no longer like a speculative asset, because you speculate on Bitcoin that doesn't have much utility, just to store wealth, and it goes up and down, very volatile. You speculate on Ethereum and its capabilities to handle its major utility, which is DeFi. It doesn't have like a large worldwide use case where big firms and companies and organizations across the globe are doing things of this nature or this magnitude, right? So that technology, even with Ethereum, is being outdated, and market share is being shared with the layer 2s and technology that is not only up to speed to its abilities, but some would argue better when it comes to Ethereum versus Solana. Okay, so that leads me to believe it's gone into a whole different realm of itself. XRP. Okay, great. We're in a bear market. They're still going to stockpile it for their treasury, and they're still going to use it for the payment system. it's always it's not like gonna be speculated on. Like, are they gonna keep using it because like the market's in a bear market? Does XRP still have a place in the world? No, it does. It does. It's set in stone. By gosh. You know? By gosh, man. You don't have to sit there and speculate like if this is gonna happen. It's happening. All right? And it's separating itself from the herd. And one day, when the market is finally ready to flush it out, right? The world is not going to care about Shiba Inu and its $8.7 billion market cap. The market will stop blessing people with crap tokens. The money will shift. Take a look there. Shiba Inu has no effing business with a larger market cap and ranking than Hedera H-bar. No business. It does nothing. Do you know the utility behind H-bar? Do you have any idea what it has and how disrupted it is versus the blockchain technology? And Shiba Inu is ahead of it. So we are a little ass backwards right now, but these market caps will be absorbed into what is the true value out there. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. We will look back many moons from now and go, hey, we remember we made all that money in those meme tokens. Wasn't those the days? You know, wasn't that great? Remember Trump token and all that? Wasn't that great? And then you're going to have people that are excited to buy XRP on a dip when it's at 75 bucks after it's had worldwide adoption across the board. And every freaking organization from not only the healthcare system, you know, not just healthcare, not just the banks, but many more big organizations and entities, right? Maybe retirement plans of 401ks start to build their treasury assets out of speculative cryptos and go more into XRP. You know, maybe this pharmaceutical company, you know, big pharma out there and everything else that are along the lines of big players all share the same sentiment and the same values as far as these treasuries, same ideas of wanting transparency and quick access. This could blow up and $100 wouldn't be diddly squat in a global market cap environment of 124 trillion. $50 XRPs like 6.8 trillion. Like I wasn't thinking big enough when I bought XRP at half a penny and thought, man, maybe when I'm 50 or 60 years old, this will be 25 cents. I wasn't thinking big enough. And I think I'm still not even capable of thinking big enough. It's just going to all have to unfold right in front of my very eyes. For reals, right? What happens here? Whales move 782 million as XRP ledger surpasses 1 million transactions following the Fed decision. I'm loving everything that's happening with the technology now aspect of crypto, right? I'm tired of speculating on a bunch of bullshit. I'm tired of like almost even the DeFi space and the ROI dApps and all that stuff. Like, you know, a lot of the profits I park into the blue chips like this, I have over the years. But we all know that the day is coming where it's just going to be straight utility. We know that. We know that none of this ride is not going to last long. With a lot of the, you know, a lot of the ecosystems out there will die off. They'll make you a lot of money. They'll make you a lot of money. I repeat, they'll make you a lot of money. But damn, it's very nice to see. As far as, you know, I've got a few people that are telling me too, like on Twitter. Because I was trolling about the market being up. They're like, oh, now you're bullish. Like, oh yeah, we're just bearish. Like, here's the thing with what I see here. It doesn't matter if I think we're bullish or bearish. Doesn't matter if you think it either. What matters is just your own personal thoughts, right? Like, I can't get excited, for me personally, for Ethereum, knowing 1 year ago it was $4,000. So if it drops to $1,800 like it did, and it gives it $2,300, I'm excited because after an 80% dip, it's up 30% or so, whatever the numbers are. Either way, it's like it's up a little bit from being down. Okay, cool. And all right, I'm bearish. Who cares? You're bullish. Who cares? I don't care. I mean, all I want to see is the long-term growth of the reality of what is important in this world when it comes to cryptocurrency. And by gosh, it's the reason why I got in is because of the utility and the disruptive atmosphere that we're in when it comes to blockchain technology. And by gosh, there's nothing more transparent. There's nothing more transparent. Now, if you want to hear me out about why I get bearish and what I think is going to happen, today's pump had a lot to do with very bullish tariff cuts, right? And I'm liking XRP because, listen, XRP, if we ship bearish and we go into a bear market, is now thriving with big organizations implementing the technology. And as we just went through, purchasing for treasuries, and there will be more to come. So it's going to be thriving and peaking and starting to peak pure value during a bear market if we go there. On the flip side, if we're in a bull market and it's continuing to do what I just mentioned in a bear market, it's going to do what it's doing right now, regardless of a bull or a bear. It's going to do even better in the next bull, or in this bull, whatever you want to call it. It's going to do very, very good either direction. So if you are in a bull market and you believe that, XRP cannot be ignored. XRP to $100 is like, this is just where we're heading. This is just where we're heading. So we are at the point in time in crypto where we're in a smooth transition, right? Like I said, utility rules, man. Doyle rules, utility rules. And I'm excited for that, right? This brings this whole XRP, like where the price will be. Yeah, I'm reading in between the lines. What a lot of experts are saying, like, we need to hit $3 and then break all these points and all that, and then it'll become bullish. There's a lot of things as far as the near price. Like I said, I'm like long-term vision about this. I'm thinking like $3 tomorrow. So what? Like I said, it'll hit $10. I'll round trip it back to $5. I ain't touching the XRP. And there's technically a lot of XRP I can never touch. I've got a lot of XRP stuck in some Bittrex and a couple exchanges I can never get back. But I still got a lot that I bought that I never touched. And I just feel like it's good to have a crypto like that. I'm in these cryptocurrencies where I'm like in my chair, back and forth, like teeter-tottering, like nervous, and like, what's going on? What's the leader or the CEO doing today? And I just know there's big things happening since it's a comfortable back for the long term. The leader of XRP donated $10 million of user funds to Kamala Harris. The funny thing about that, right, is some people like myself, like, I don't like stuff like that. I'm not crazy about it, though, but I sure don't mind being in bed with the people that got politicians in their back pocket. I don't. It goes against my beliefs. Like, I'm in crypto for a decentralized experience. I want my keys and my crypto. Not your keys, not your crypto on an exchange. I want to operate in a decentralized fashion. But when it comes to XRP, they're just playing their cards right on a whole different playing field. They're not like these founders like Andreas from Sonic and all that. Like, these are guys that got politicians in their pocket. They got the supports from the big globalists, and there's a lot of money in that. And if I can make money with the bad guys, the people I don't like, and the scums of the earth, I don't mind. I really don't. XRP will be hundreds, settling back into Swift. Stock market, DTCC, and the MacDaddy Codius bringing derivatives on chain. Yeah, hey, shout out to Vibra. I know you're a big XRP fan too as well. You know, Ripple's headquartered in San Fran. That's surprising. Hey, maybe the Ripple guy goes to Golden State Warrior games. They're in the playoffs right now. Did they win last night? I don't remember. I was watching. I think I fell asleep. But yeah, there's just so much to come. There's so much to come. Do you have like any of these? Like, this is a dream. Like, think about any blockchain or investment you're in right now. Right? Think of anything. Small cap. Can you imagine waking up and you read an article like Big Pharma logistics integrates, healthcare firms? You don't get that anywhere else. So the XRP, army is probably really happy for what's to come. I just know that it's the beginning phase of what I feel like needs to happen. And it's the big wash. It's a big rinse is going to happen across the entire ecosystem. And it happens every cycle, but I think this might be the final wash where we eliminate a lot of the scams out there. You take a look at coinmarketcap.com, right? You take a look at the top 10. I really only want to see top 20, honestly. And everything else below could just give up their market share and just go bye-bye. Because a lot of them are scams, right? A lot of them are good, right? They're going to be around regardless of what I want. But a lot of stuff is just straight up just nothing burgers, right? They got big market caps. 1.9 billion. Cosmos, not a joke. Bonk. I don't know why the hell it has a $1.6 billion market cap, but Bonk's not going to be around in the future. It has no value. It does nothing for mankind. It does nothing for the world. Where did that 1.7 billion go? Anywhere else, I'd be happy, right? WorldCoin, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? I don't even want to look. Fartcoin, come on. There's a lot of money that's going to transition out of these and they'll take to zero. But come on, Fartcoin, this was a good run. It was good to see all that, but we're going to see utility rise, as we should. But look how much money that hasn't come in. Think about the amount of money that hasn't come in from a global market cap standpoint. That $124 million of $124 trillion of global market cap, whatever, all that money they can transition in, right? Think of all that we can tap into, and at the same time, all this money that's in these BS tokens, Floki, come on, Jasmine Coin, Pudgy Penguins, all that go to zero and go into the real stuff, right? And then a lot of the times you'll have things that tried and just ain't working out. No one talks about the sandbox anymore. No one talks about really even Bitcoin SV, BSV, these walrus coins. Brett, there's a lot of money out there that's sitting in crypto that's going to transition into the utility tokens that are thriving. Because no one wants to get left behind. And when that wash happens, it's going to be a waterfall of money that's already in the space that's going to reallocate to where it should be. And enjoy your Fartcoin. Enjoy your Fartcoin. Jasmine, yeah, I don't know what Jasmine is. So if it's a good utility coin, my bad. I don't know what it is. But now I'll check it out. So good thing I brought up Jasmine. But you have to admit there's a lot of meme tokens with no utility. A lot of tokens that have utility that's just not up to speed or can compete. That's going to rinse out, and that wave is going to go into the good stuff. Viber's, okay, I got to look at Jasmine token when I'm done with the stream, because now he's got me intrigued. I got to look at Jasmine. I agree with you about meme coins. I'd rather XRP than Farcoin or Pepe. Trump included XRP into the reserve asset stockpile. Yeah, XRP. We want Chainlink to thrive. We also want a massive competitor to a lot of the blue chips. So if somebody can do what Chainlink does and compete for a better Chainlink and absorb market share, that'd be interesting. That'd be cool. But I'll be damned if I were to believe that Shiba Inu should be above H-bar. Hell no. And the reason why it is because people are speculating they'll get rich. And that wave already happened. We all bought Shiba Inu early when it came out. A lot of people made a lot of money. You're probably never going to see that happen again with Shiba Inu repeat itself. It may go up, but it's got no business having an $8.8 billion market cap. That's a lot of money that can go into a much well-deserved utility token. And the time will come. The time will come. Right? People gravitated to meme coins because the utility tokens had VCs and stupid big FDFS. You'll notice that, like, when you... I understand that theory too as well. I get it. But that's the world you live in, right? Yeah, there's going to be large VCs, but then you got a meme token. And what's the difference when you got the person who created the token, who minted it out of thin air, has the biggest bags, plus all his friends, and a lot of them are pump and dumps. And then you got the people who got in early. So now you have people that got bag size in Shiba that would be bag size of VC holders, who typically VC holders get like a vested transition of their money over the course of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, remember it may be. Other than a large whale who just wants to dump all his meme tokens on you at the top and leave it for dead. The VC utility tokens are going to survive, and they will get most of the market cap. I had the same vision as I did years ago when I was Thomas G. If you guys remember me in my old YouTube channel, I used to drive in the morning to work. I was doing telemarketing 12 hours a day, and I would do my videos, and I had a big saying. You got to have PPO, which is patience pays off, PPO insurance, and if you can't beat them, join them. And I was talking about XRP. So yeah, I hate the VCs. Yeah, I hate all those groups and all that opportunity they get and all the angels investors. But if you can't beat them, join them, because there's so much money that's going to come into the utility. That's where it's at. That's where Wall Street's going. That's why big pharma's coming to XRP. That's why you got logistics, everybody integrating the utility tokens. And when the big wash comes, right? When the big wash comes, you don't want to get baptized. Like my good friend Jorge Masvidal says, you don't want to get baptized and get washed out. You want to be positioned in the good stuff. So it's not very hard to find out what the good stuff is. It's the technologies, the DeFi technologies of what will make the world a more transparent place. And blockchain makes the world a better place because of transparency. So do we want that transparency in the healthcare system? Of course. Do these companies want it in the healthcare system as well? Of course. So they can see every itemized thing that's going on, know where all the money's going, get the proper write-offs. Nothing will get past the blockchain that cannot be recorded or seen. All the data's there. That's the future. Let's see. I first heard about you when you were hospitalized and your drip account ran up to like 17 grand just while you were out the game for a number of days. Gosh. Time has gone by. Remind me, I gotta prepare a healthy snack right now. I'm trying to do an hour plus walking per day, a little bit of lifting weights. Got to get the fruits and vegetables because you get older, you got to get better. And I've been doing these new diets and routines, and my health issues that I were having are going away, like aches and pains and inflammation. I don't think I'm supposed to be eating bread or anything like that. My body doesn't accept it. So you eliminate that, you feel good. You eat it, you're like, oh. Part of getting old, right? But don't forget to pound the like button. XRP to $100. Listen, not saying it can happen today, tomorrow, the next week, in a month. We're on a slow transition to global adoption. We're not talking about adoption like the normal adoption across the board. We're talking about global adoption right here. Right here. Much more money to come into crypto as a whole. During the bull and during the bear, it will transition in and out. Where we're at, who knows? Go find the experts, they'll tell you. I just speculate and tell you what I think. But down the road, $100 XRP, yeah, I'm 420x plus from my original entry. Now, if you enter, is a 50x a big deal in crypto? No. After all these big partnerships? No. One could speculate. Why not? Till next time, don't forget to pound the like button. We'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including E.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including. Got me on Navex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zoopy on Phantom, I got a few nodes. Sticking my Rex, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including E.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees,